Hello and welcome to this series on exit strategy for your small business. I'm Cher Cunningham, I'm your coach.
I'm Jim Pillow, I'm your consultant.
We're going to share with you in the next 4 videos some ideas and concepts that are crucial for you setting the right trajectory for your business now. No matter where you are in your business currently, there are going to be some ideas here that are very valuable for you today and in the future.
By trajectory, we mean, of course, that at some point you're going to exit your business.
And so having a bit of control over that today is absolutely something we want you to understand that you can do. Nobody wants to talk about exit planning, and you look at that and you wonder, why is that it's so hard to actually get not just a business owner to sit down and talk about their exit, but also it doesn't tend to come up in conversation with your accountant, with your bookkeeper, or even in conversation with your colleagues.
It's often the what happens, I think, is you've been working in your business a long time, and all of a sudden you sort of go, I think the end is near. And sometimes it comes as a surprise to people. Maybe you get an unsolicited offer for your business. Maybe you're thinking about retirement, but it's often a little bit of a surprise to people that the end is near when the end is near.
Yeah, I think there's that run up to, I started my business, I hope it's successful. Then when it hits success, and we talk about the doldrums where you are so busy and your business is so successful that you don't even have time to think, let alone plan. And it can take all of your time and all of your energy. But as you work your way through that, you can be 10 years in business and suddenly realize you have something significant. That unsolicited offer is often that first sign that you've built something powerful, something that other people are interested in.
I think that, so we talk about planning a lot with clients, and exit is the ultimate sort of piece of the plan, if it can be thought of that way. So having a plan that says, I want to be a successful business person isn't sufficient, right? You actually need a plan. We've spoken about that quite a lot. It's a very important piece. Ultimately, planning your exit is where your business is going eventually. Eventually, will come a point where you're not going to be involved in your business anymore. And the more thoughtfully and intentionally you think about that, and the sooner you think about that, the better off you are.
I think if you land at a place where you wish you had sold your business, you're starting to devalue your business as well. And if that has happened to you, it can feel like you are in an embarrassing situation, that you're not even sure that you should be asking questions because you've just lost the passion, you've lost the energy for your business, and you just wish it would go away. But nobody actually knows how to sell a business until they have. And even if you sold one business, how you sell this business is going to be a little different. So the fact that you don't know how to do something doesn't mean that you can't do something. And the experts that you reach out to will know what to ask, even if you don't know what to ask. So I think that knowledge can take away some of the fears around, should I even be talking about exit, or should I just kind of quietly close my business at the end? Having the goal of selling your business can feel pretty bold.
It's a little scary. You start into business and your goal is, and this is true of almost everybody who starts a business, your goal is to survive, and then your goal is to be successful. But of course, the ultimate goal is to create something that eventually you won't be associated with. Trying to set that goal early in your business sounds maybe even pointless, but it's such an important part, because it lays the foundation for a lot of the things you need to do to make sure your business is both successful and produces, income for you while you're living in your business, but also to create an asset that will likely form a large part of your retirement and probably your legacy.
In fact, exit planning is actually goal planning. It is creating the vision for what your business will be when you leave. That ability to know where you're going adds a lot of certainty to what you should be doing today. Often when people think, what should I be doing to work on my business, they're not even sure. Why that is because you don't have that vision. You don't have that plan in place. And an exit plan can often be one of the most powerful starting points in building a vision for your business. When you know what you want to be exiting with, then you also know what you need to build to create that exit.
Mm-hmm. And here's an acronym that you can use to get this concept really firmly lodged in your planning process, in your, frankly, sort of day-to-day activities even, is ARTS, always ready to sell. So if your business is always ready to sell, you'll know that you're running it optimally, not only for somebody else, of course, but for yourself.
I like that idea as well, because when you're thinking about selling your business today, it actually does make the business separate from you. Often we meet people and their self-worth is so tied up in their business instead of their net worth. And when you're thinking about selling this thing, and it's not selling your soul, it's not selling your identity, it's selling an asset that you're intentionally building, and it helps you shift your perspective on your business itself so that you can make those wiser, less emotional, less anxiety-inducing decisions that build an intentional, solidly positioned asset.
So you have two things that you'll get out of your business, other than obviously the enjoyment and the passion of doing the thing that you like to do, or managing a company that does the thing that you like to do. So one of them is the income stream that you'll realize. And the second piece, though, is building the asset. And the asset is what produces the return on investment for the risk that you took for being a business owner and for being an employer and for adding to your community and creating impact. That value, that business value, is actually what exit planning really is about.
You'll notice that we're talking about your business as though you are a business owner instead of the person who does that thing really well. That is why you started the business in the first place. And that's very intentional. In order to meet the success that your business has created, there's usually a time where you had to stop doing that thing that you were really good at, hire people to do that. Even if you do want to do it some of the time, you actually need to embrace being the CEO that the business you're designing needs and deserves.
I think I have fun to use analogies, and I think one of the analogies that we think about in terms of thinking about selling your business or getting ready to sell your business is a kind of a renovation analogy. If you've ever sold your house, I know this has happened to me personally. So
keep going, because
okay.
the idea of, okay, well, I sold my house and I put off renovations until the last minute. Is that where you're going with this?
That is where I'm going with that. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I think it's a pretty common thing to, you live in a house and then you decide you want to have a better house, bigger house, different place. And in order to sell your house, in order to groom your house to create the maximum value for you as the seller and to make it maximally attractive to a buyer, you do all those renovations you've been putting off that you probably made a very large list of the week that you moved into the house, whether that was 3 years ago or 20 years ago. And when you finish the renovations, before you list the house, you look around, you go, wow, this is a nice place. I think that's a pretty common experience. I think people do that in business. That's what we would like to help people not do that in business. Because a business that you built that is enjoyable or that you are wanting to make most attractive to a buyer is the one that's going to be most attractive to you as well. And most of that is about cash flow optimization. And in this series, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But, making the business work the way, is most attractive so that you can live in your business very happily and comfortably is so important.
And that, tying back to that renovation analogy, if you think about somebody else having to run your business and you think, oh man, I would hate them to have to go through the stresses that my business creates, why not make that unacceptable for yourself too? Getting rid of that stress today and being able to build some predictability. Don't get in a rut, but get in a groove with your business so that it becomes stronger and stronger. Many business owners are suffering from a lot of financial stress. when you know your finances, when you're making data-driven decisions and tracking your success, which is one of the things you'll do to get your business ready to sell, it can reduce your stress, gives you actual insight into what is happening in your business, what's working, what isn't working, and how to change it. That task of really understanding your business, it's good for you too, not just the person who is hoping to purchase it.
It's the reward for ownership in addition to the reward for work. So this whole exit idea is where you monetize, you actually crystallize the value of the thing that you've built, and it's part of your reward for ownership of the business.
So you start your business because you want a level of control on your future. I know a lot of people think that business owners love risk, but in fact, most business owners start their business so they can control their future. It feels less risky to be the boss and to be able to call the shots than being worried about somebody else. But then as you're growing, the first couple of years, that works. It's really exciting and rewarding. But then as your business grows, what starts to happen is the lack of having a business vision of where you're going, what success even is. How will you know you're successful? How do you design how to get there? The business plan that will get you there so that you know you're making the right decisions in the busyness of a successful business. That uncertainty of not knowing what success is, and that place of anxiety and stress can be mitigated by having that exit plan. You can fuel your confidence from that exit. We actually find that some of the tools that we use are remarkable in overnight transformation for that level of anxiety.
And there's a tie-in here. So your business is a vehicle that fuels the rest of your life. So you're doing the business because of your life. And the difficulty in thinking about and planning an exit is very closely tied to understanding what it is that you want in life as well, your lifestyle. They're not separate things. So knowing what you want in life and that process of crafting that gives you actually a very powerful input to your exit planning, to know what it is that you want or need out of your business when you're no longer involved.
I think the challenge of it being so iterative, how big should my business be? How do I want my life to be? Especially if you're in the doldrums and you feel like you have no life at this moment in time and you're not having fun and you're starting to burn out. The ability to build back the vision for your business sometimes starts from that vision for your life. And then backward engineering that into what does that mean that needs to be achieved within the business so that you can live that way.
So Cher, how do people watching this video, how do they find out about selling the business?
You know, it's something that it doesn't come up enough. And then as soon as we bring it up to a business owner, there's that vulnerable place where they go, I don't even know what I would do. Mm-hmm. So we've built a Built to Sell workshop that is a VIP day. It's a day where you learn what is involved in building the value and the saleability of your business. We have it as a webinar on April 18th, and we have it in person on May 16th, and you can sign up on the website link that we'll put in the description with this.
And the fun thing about being here in person is you can have a much more detailed conversation, obviously more interactive, and you'll find yourself in a room full of people who have approximately the same questions that you do. You're not alone.
Yeah, the people in the room are not going to be these elite mergers and acquisitions people that you're going to go, man, I wish I was them. We're all in the same boat when we start our business, that we are great at what we do, and there's knowledge and wisdom that we can wrap around our business to make it pay off and be a business that really loves you back.
So that was session 1 of selling your business. Exit's not a 4-letter word.
We'll hope to see you next time. And if you have any questions about this, don't hesitate. Don't feel like you have to watch all 4 of them before you reach out and ask your question. We're here to support you.
I'm Jim Plow. I'm the consultant.
And I'm Cher Cunningham. I'm the coach. We'll see you next time.